Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. If you've ever wanted to live in a golf course community, then you've probably asked yourself, what are the real costs associated with living in a golf course community? So I feel I have some insider knowledge. I had the opportunity to serve as the director of member relations at a local country club here in the greater Myrtle Beach area for over 4 years. And in that role, I had the opportunity to do a lot of market research as well as talk to a lot of prospective members and members. And so I gained some insider knowledge on some questions that you may want to consider if you are looking to live within one of these communities. So the very first thing that I would ask is, if I live within this particular community, must I join as a member of this country club or golf course? And on the flip side of that is the opposite question of, if I want to join this country club or golf course, must I live within this community? That's going to help either broaden or narrow my search for a home based on whether or not I can live or can't live within a particular community in order to be a member if membership is of interest to me. The next thing I would ask is the golf course private, semi-private, or public? This is going to allow me to know a little bit more about the traffic flow through my community, who may be going in and out, and potentially how busy that particular community may be. Another question that I'm going to want to ask is associated with the monetary costs associated with membership. What are the upfront costs associated with membership? Is there an initiation fee? Is there a capital contribution fee? Is this a private member-owned club and I'm required to purchase an equity share, for example? And once I kind of know the upfront costs, I also want to know, is there an opportunity to recoup any of those upfront costs if I were to move and leave the club or leave the golf course for any given reason? And if I can recoup some of those costs, what's the process to go about doing so? And what's the likelihood that I'm going to get back all or a certain portion of my investment? I also want to know, what are the other costs associated with membership? What are the monthly dues, for example? Or is there a food minimum? In a lot of instances where a restaurant or restaurants may be a part of the golf course or part of the country club, there may be a food minimum requirement where you have to meet a minimum spend given a certain time period, or you are billed the difference of what that minimum was and what you spent at the end of that time period. So understanding those costs can be really important. In addition, you're going to want to ask about other one-time costs such as assessments. Are assessments possible for the members, or are, for example, future capital projects going to be covered by a particular private owner or a larger conglomerate that owns that country club or that golf course? And so I can understand what are my real monetary costs as somebody who's looking to potentially purchase within this community, or who wants to join this golf course or this country club, but maybe live in a nearby neighboring community. Finally, I would also want to better understand, what are the benefits of membership? What amenities are available to me? What social events and how often our social events are offered at the club or the golf course? And is there a sample schedule that I may be able to review of just hours of operation as well as events, so that I can better understand how that may impact my lifestyle, and if those are something that I'm particularly interested in as somebody who's looking to maybe join this country club or golf course. And finally, if I am a golfer, I may be interested in asking, what is the pace of play on the golf course? You will find here along the Grand Strand that can vary greatly depending on the course that you're on, and understanding whether there is a requirement and how that might impact my member experience can be really important. I hope this was helpful. Please click subscribe, and I hope to see you on some of my future videos.